climb into your closets and snuggle into those blankies, because hibernation season is officially upon us and it's time to get cozy. This Bagel Bite, we're giving shout-outs to some of our lovely listeners. We're praising a local Maine eatery with the best lunch sandwiches in town, discussing UK tea towel rules, and reading your feedback regarding imposter phenomenon. We're also speculating about landline phones, mixing up a whole batch of love with seasonal favorite Chef Santa, and emphasizing the importance of embracing your inner silly little guy.
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn, and most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention, there's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather. Weirds of a feather.
All right, should we start this jam-a-lam?
I think we should.
All right,
weird episode.
welcome.
I feel odd.
Yeah, I feel quite strange. Let me get into it. Let me say it first, and then we'll go. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds
okay.
Good.
Welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an ADHD-Adjacent podcast. I'm your host, Grace Beret.
And I'm your host, Kristen Stanhope.
And we are recording virtually today, which we never do, but we're giving it our best shot.
I'm recording from Christopher's closet. I'm covered in blankets.
Yeah, we'll have to share a picture.
Cozy.
It's quite silly.
It's cozy.
You look cozy.
I'm
all snugged in there.
My butt's falling asleep a little bit, but nothing I can't handle.
Wiggle that puppy around.
I'm wiggling.
All right. Just don't wiggle too much. Don't want to affect the sound quality.
Oh yeah, I know. I know.
All right. I don't have a warm-up question for us. Should we just hit the road, or do you have a warm-up? What do you think?
God, I thought of the best one the other day, and I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, I do have a warm-up question.
All right. What you got?
Remember in like the 90s before cell phones?
Yes.
Do you remember that time?
Yes, I do. It was a prominent time in my life.
People had landline phones.
Mm-hmm.
What constituted? Remember, everybody's like, "Are you calling long distance?" How long was long distance? What does that mean?
I don't know. I was a child, so I wasn't really making long distance calls, but probably like out of your state, maybe.
Out of state, or is it out of your area code?
That's a good question. I bet there is definitely an easy answer on the internet.
I'm sure.
But you just want to like ponder about it.
And so here's my other question.
The phone companies are to say. They had very explicit rules.
I'm sure they did, but everybody's like, "Oh, if you're calling long distance, you need to pay extra or something." But what does that mean? And what if I didn't know if I was calling long distance?
Then you would be charged. It didn't matter if you knew or not. It just, if you were calling long distance, if it was far enough away, the phone companies would just charge you. But again, I don't know how many long distance phone calls we were making as children.
Well, we'll never know. But because I never paid the phone bill.
No.
And I couldn't read, so, couldn't read it.
It wouldn't have mattered
if I tried. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then for cell phone users, which is everyone, do we have those same or similar long distance rules?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe like out of the country. I don't know how cell phone bills work these days. Are we still paying 10 cents per text message?
Yeah.
Hopefully not. Do you still remember your home phone number?
Yes. It took me a second. I had to re-say it in my head because it's like the same 3 numbers over and over again.
Just
Do
over
you?
and over and over and over. Yeah, 761.
Well, I wasn't gonna. Now you're gonna have a bunch of people call your. You gotta
Calling
bleep that out.
my old landline. No one will pick up. It's not active. No one uses it.
It could. Someone else could use it. They could reuse and repurpose landlines.
Well, no one call
Can
that
they?
number, or else you'll get a random person. I don't know. Maybe. All right. Well, that's
Who's
been
to
enough
say?
phone speculation for this episode. Good warm-up question.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, let's crack on into little accomplishments. Little plishes, sorry.
Little
It's a bagel bite. It's a
plishes.
bagel bite.
It's
Didn't
a
even say
bagel
that.
bite.
This is a
Oh
bagel
yeah,
bite.
I know. We didn't even say that. So everybody, get your
Where are our
mouths.
heads?
Get your mouths to the appropriate level of fullness, so you can do your bagel bite. So we can do the bagel bite, and you can
Consume it.
chew it. Yeah.
Yeah. Chew this
That went
right
well.
up.
It's going great so
we're
far.
nice and smooth. Yeah, I feel good about this.
Yep.
All right, should
This
we
is
do our
why.
little plishes?
Yes. Will you do the count? Because I'm watching you on the video.
Yeah, it might be a little delayed, but isn't that a fun treat?
Yeah. Well,
Okay, ready?
we'll figure it out.
Little plishes. That was so delayed. I was trying to wait to time it with you, and
We're
even
gonna do
when I
another
waited,
one.
no, I think we got it.
I think if we
I
do
think
like
we
a
nailed it.
1, 2, 3 little plishes, I think we'll get it.
We did, and that
Yeah,
was the
but like
result.
with our voices instead of visuals.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3. Little plishes.
Almost.
It didn't help at all. All right. Well, you guys get the gist of it. Just imagine in your minds that we said those at the same time. All right, Kristen, why don't you start us off with your little plish?
I have a little plish. I've reconnected with someone. I'm really pumped about it. Do you know who it is?
Can I guess who?
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get it.
Is it Chef Santa?
God damn it! Yes!
It's that
Chef
time of the year. Who else would it be? A long lost uncle that you've reconnected with?
You don't know who I know. You know exactly who I know. I have like
I know
friends.
everyone that you know. I know every person that you know.
Every person that
and I
I've
know
met,
that it's Chef Santa. Yes.
It is Chef Santa. Because I dug out my Christmas decorations today and yesterday, and here we are. Chef Santa. Chef Santa.
It's the season.
Chef Santa.
Chef Santa. Mixing up a whole batch of love.
Boo, boo. Chef Santa. Chef Santa.
Chef
Santa.
Sending kisses from above.
You got it.
Man,
yeah,
we really nailed those high
about
notes.
Chef Santa. And then every holiday season I forget about him, and then I take him out of the box and I'm like, I wonder what this is, and then I'm like, oh my god, he's
what
back.
a fun surprise when you have memory problems.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like Christmas all over again, because I always forget what I have for decorations, and I'm like, I wonder what this is.
New to me. Is he watching over you?
I have him in the kitchen mixing up a whole batch of love.
Nice. Sending kisses
He's with
from
my
above.
wooden spoons, because he also has a wooden spoon. So
yeah,
exciting
for mixing up a whole batch of love.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Grace.
Yes.
What's your little plish?
I, with the help of Ian, put up curtains finally in the dining room and living room.
Nice.
We have not had curtains this whole time. Yeah. And it's bothered me every single day.
Mm-hmm.
But then I go through like the whole, if you give a moose a muffin thing where it's like, well, first I'm going to have to pick out curtains. But in order to pick out curtains, like first, then I need to pick out a rug because the curtains need to go with the rug. And then I just like go in a loop of I can't do this until I've done this. I can't do that until I've done that. And then finally, I just said, let's just fucking put something up there. So we just got some like cheapo ones at Walmart, but they actually look okay. But I just wanted to like put something up. Yeah. And we also had some nice ones that Judy, my mother-in-law, had bought us for the dining room, but we didn't have a long enough curtain rod. So we just haven't put them up for months and months. So we finally got a long enough curtain rod and put those up too. Now we're all curtained up. It's
I
a
know, because you have
fortress.
quite the dining room window.
Yeah, it's gimungo.
It's huge.
So we finally have some nice curtains in there, and it feels much cozier. I'm like, oh, we should have done this a long time ago. Yeah, it's a real treat.
I too need curtains. I have a lot of windows with nothing.
Yeah, it's bothersome, but
Yeah, I know.
curtains.
People are looking in all the time, and I'm like, stop looking. But I'm like, I should probably put a curtain in.
Yeah, it just makes it feel homier in there. And, I was having a lot of decision paralysis about it because I had to pick, obviously, the absolute best curtains. And I just would go look online for curtains, and then I would just get overwhelmed, have too many choices, not be able to make a decision, close my computer, and not make a choice. So
Yeah.
I finally did. And
my
they
mom
look okay.
always
They're
offers
fine.
to make curtains, but we always it always ends in an argument because we have different creative opinions.
Yes.
So even though it's my house and my curtains in my dining room, apparently that doesn't matter.
She's the artist. She's the seamstress.
She's like, no, that's not how it is. And you know what? Honestly, she's usually right, but
it's your mistake to make,
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Not hers. All right, well,
I'm
should
proud of
we get into our schmorg? Thank you. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, it is a schmorg today. We've got a little bit of everything.
Like always.
Like always, for our Bagel Bites. A lot of shout outs and a lot of references to things that people commented on.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So why don't you kind of take the lead on this one since you got some stuff to say.
Yeah.
All right.
So I want to shout out to all of the people at Iris Eats, which is a eatery and sandwich place in Harpswell, Maine. And they're all fans of the show and they comment often. And they keep saying, because Grace, you and I have talked many times about how we hate cooking.
Yes.
And you, I think, even said, I wish there was like dog kibble for people so you didn't have to think about
I have said that.
cooking.
Infamously,
yeah.
Yes.
And I agree. And they keep saying, they're like, for the love of God, please. It breaks their heart that we don't like to cook, but we don't like to cook. So then finally I kept saying like, I'm going to take my mom out. And then I finally did. I brought both my parents. We went as like a family. And this was actually a while ago, and I keep meaning to bring this up, but I always forget. And it was lovely. They have great sandwiches. And my parents are always looking for like new places to eat, so I brought them, and I was like, and now it's their favorite place. They not only have they gone there several times without me, which is like, oh, come on. They've started saying, oh, we said hi to the girls at Iris Eats, as if they're like, family. They've been there like twice.
That's so lovely.
They're like, we had to stop by.
Oh, they had to.
I'm like, okay. And it's like their new favorite place. They're telling everybody about it. And I'm like, you've been there twice. Also, are you not going to give me credit?
You Stanhopes are a great source for free advertising. When you like something, you will tell everyone.
Literally
it's how
everybody.
Ian gets half of his business. Is you just telling surgeons to
I've
hire
given
him.
Ian's business number out to
strangers on the street.
Not strangers on the street, but just about.
Yeah, you guys give out good recommendations. Yes. Street associates.
But yeah, they've been like shouting it from the treetops, like, we love Iris Eats. And when I went there, so I've only been there once, but it was great, and the food was great, and the people are great, and
what'd you order?
And I just really wanted to give them a shout out because they are really big fans. They write in every time, and so thank you.
Yeah, Lindsay, right, is one of the chefs there.
Yeah, she's on Instagram. She's a Lady Rockwell, and she's always writing in. And then her husband is Wood Coast Designs, who also listens or is forced to listen. I don't know, but he listens.
Either way, he gives us good responses too. Yeah,
but he's a big commenter too. So thank you so much, and thanks for your food, and thanks for entertaining my parents. They
Someone's
really like you guys.
To.
Yeah, someone has to. I'm tapped out at this moment, so I'm glad.
Yeah, what'd you order? What'd you eat?
I had like a bagel sandwich, and it was delicious. It had like arugula. It had an egg. and it was fantastic. And then I had a coffee drink. But my parents have gone there. They've gotten several different things because they have breakfast sandwiches or lunch sandwiches. It's the perfect
just regular
combination.
sandwiches.
Well, because some people like
Yum.
breakfast and some people like lunch.
You're absolutely right.
Right? Like some people don't like breakfast foods and some people don't like lunch foods.
I just had never heard it be called a lunch sandwich, but I guess if you're in comparison to breakfast sandwich, it is a lunch sandwich.
It's a real thing.
I would just consider that like the standard baseline sandwich. And then any sandwich outside of lunch is like breakfast sandwich, dinner sandwich, I guess.
Dinner
Thanksgiving
sandwich? Is
sandwich.
there such a thing?
Yeah.
Dessert sandwich?
I don't know. Ooh. I like lunch sandwich. I'm going to start
I
using
like lunch
that.
sandwich. I'm more of a breakfast sandwich. If I had to pick one of the two, I'm going with breakfast sandwich.
I love a breakfast sandwich. I keep talking about going up there too, but I have not yet. So
I'm going to drag you up there.
Put it on my list.
Well, they're closed during
you don't have to drag
January.
me.
They take January off. So
that's awesome.
I know. Isn't that great?
Yeah. Humans need to hibernate.
Yeah. It's cold up there too. They're like right on the water. My mom's like, they're right on the water. The view's amazing. The water.
Like the perfect place for them.
My parents really like it. They can't stop talking about it. I hear about it.
So if you're in Maine,
often.
Go to Iris Eats. Get yourself a breakfast sandwich or a lunch sandwich. Either way.
Just don't go in January. They're not going to be
any
there.
other time.
Yeah, it's
you can
in
go, but they won't be there. All right, yeah, we'll put it on our list, and you will have to not make me go. I want to go, but it's the follow through that I struggle with. So you'll have to like make me go. But I want to.
We'll have to do like because you're not really a planner. I'm gonna have to like spring it on you last minute.
I can make a plan. It's following through on the plan.
It's following through. I'm gonna have to like collect you from your home, kidnap you. Oh, maybe I can fake like a kidnapping of some sort.
I will murder you or whoever's kidnapping me.
Yeah, you probably would. I don't think I'm a very good kidnapper.
Yeah, don't do that. Someone will get hurt.
The whole time I'd be like, okay, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. You're gonna make me cry too.
I don't like surprises. I need like 2 days of heads up of, hey, on Sunday, let's go do this.
Okay.
And then we'll go.
Okay.
All right. What you got for us next?
Okay, I've got another thing. And this one is from another listener who we talk about all the time, Jane. Jane, as you may know, made our hobby collector song. We keep using it. It's lovely.
Yes, thank you, Jane.
Thank you, Jane. And a while ago, like back in October, which is embarrassing that it's taken me this long, but back in October, I posted a poll question that a lot of people responded to. And it was, what is a trigger of yours that will cause a meltdown? And she had a lot to say about this. And her response was, my husband using my towel, which reminded me of you and Ian.
Justice for our towels. Don't touch our fucking towels. Right, Jane?
Right.
Glad you're on my side.
Being woken up by people.
Yep. Hate that.
And then people drying hands on the tea towel. And Jane lives in the UK. And so I was like, well, shoot, I have a dumb American question because we don't really we have tea towels in America, but we don't really use them for tea things, right? Do you have tea towels? I don't. I have tea towels, but I treat them like regular towels. I didn't know that they had different functions and jobs.
No, I call them dishcloths, I guess, dish towels. But I don't use them. Yeah, I don't use them for drying dishes. I use them for like my hands and stuff.
So
that would drive Jane crazy.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of emojis going on of like distress. And so I said, honest question from a dumb American, are tea towels for decoration only? They don't seem to be able to dry anything or scrub anything. I have all these tea towels, but they seem useless. In all caps, she said, oh my God, no. So we're already off to a rough start. Therefore, drying dishes, etc., when you wash them up by hand, or polishing glasses and cutlery once they're out of the dishwasher.
Polishing glasses and cutlery. Jane, you're already doing way more than I'm doing.
Way too much. Way too much.
Yeah.
Cutlery. I put those wet back in the little thing. I kind of shake them off Sometimes I wipe them on my pants.
I do too.
I'm like, good enough.
That's fine.
Whoops. I'm like, I was embarrassed reading this. I was like, oh, I'm an animal.
I know I'm doing all these things wrong.
Right. She says, I clearly have emotional issues around tea towels. My husband uses him to wipe his hands on, and that's in all caps. And I was like, don't we all? But apparently not.
That's all I use them for. But also,
Right.
that's all I use them for, so I'm not also using them for dishes, so I feel like that's okay. I use them like a hand towel.
Yeah. But I think they're a pretty shitty hand towel because they don't really absorb anything.
Yeah. Which I've always been frustrated by them. I'm like, why do these towels suck?
Right.
I guess that's why.
Right. We're using them for the wrong job.
They're not for your hands. Actually, I remember one time a little bit ago, my mom was freaking out. She had to get a new dishcloth because she saw my dad wipe his mouth with theirs. And I was like, yeah, that's real gross of him. Can't believe he would do that. But I do that
Not
at
that I
home
haven't done the
sometimes.
same thing.
Yeah, good thing I've never done that, Mom.
Yeah.
She was horrified.
What a barbarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says, my husband uses them to wipe his hands on when cooking, which makes me very upset. My eldest son uses a hand towel to dry the dishes, which also makes me very upset. I just get very upset about not using the correct towel.
Wait, so she's upset when her son uses it to dry the dishes? I thought that's what they were for.
Yeah, I know. Well, now I feel like we need clarification.
Or are they just for
because in the
polishing?
first sentence it sounded like they weren't just for polishing, they're for drying the dishes when you wash them up by hand. I don't know.
It sounds like Jane has very, very particular rules about what these tea towels can and cannot be used for.
Please.
Which I respect. I respect that she has rules. I don't respect these rules because they're not the ones I follow, because they're not rules I care about.
I understand that you have rules, but I'm not going to follow them anyway.
Yes, but thankfully we don't live in the same home, so she's allowed to set the rules
or the
for her
same
own
country.
tea towels. Yeah, not even the same country.
Yeah, well, I guess, Jane, I need a clarification. Are they for drying dishes or are they for not drying dishes?
And what do you dry your hands on?
What do you wipe your counters with? A paper towel?
Yeah,
How many towels do you have in your home? Because if you had a separate towel for drying your hands, for drying the dishes, for polishing the dishes, and then a separate one for like spills and messes and stuff, that's 4 fucking towels. That's a lot.
It's a lot of towels.
Where do they go?
She's more serious about towel rules than I am.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah. I will say that I wash my hands so many times because I'm just like so particular about my hands being sticky or the wrong feeling. But I do hate the smell of the towels, the tea towels, when you dry your hands with them and then your hands smell like towel. So then I use a paper towel, but then I'm using like so many fucking paper towels. So I'm like, I should keep using the hand towels or the tea towels, whatever they are. But then your hand smells like towel.
I didn't know tea towels had a certain smell.
They do. They smell like towel. And I don't like it. They smell like wet. They smell like
as
wet.
As opposed to bath towel? Do those have a
Yes,
different... Maybe it's your detergent.
No, they smell different. No, it's a certain way that tea towels smell. No, I don't like it.
I gotta go smell my tea towels.
Go take a whiff. Sniff.
If I wasn't locked in this closet, I would.
Maybe after you crawl out of the closet.
Yeah, crawl out of the closet, remove all the blankets that are covering me.
Yep. Give a good sniff. All right.
Yeah, after we record, I'm giving them a good sniff. I'll report back.
You won't be happy.
I don't think they have a different smell. I think you just don't like your detergent.
Yes, they do. No, it's not the detergent. It's the smell of the tea towels. All right. We can't stay on this topic forever. What you got next? I'm right.
What do we got next? Oh, so once again, I got more shout outs. And this one is from another Instagram post that I feel bad because once again, I forgot to repost it. But a lot of people wrote in about imposter syndrome. And I asked a poll question that said, it didn't say that, but what it did say is the best way to deal with imposter phenomenon, which I labeled IP, is to talk about it. Share your experience here. And then, boy, did people share their experience. And here are some. Here are many. There are many. But I want to share it because the best way to the best way to deal with it is to talk about it. So we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Lay it on me.
All right. Little Aline says MSc, which I think is a master's in science,
Wow.
graded A, finishing a PhD in genetics/bioinformatics, which is like crazy.
Damn.
And she says she still feels like she's bullshitting her way through. Goddamn. I'll say, Lil Eileen, you're not, because anybody who has to go through that has to be incredibly intelligent. And there's no way. There's no way. NetScribe says, I keep paying for workshops and classes about topics I'm already expert level in.
That's a great example of an imposter
That is a great example. I mean, it's always nice to get new knowledge, but if you're already an expert, you could save yourself some money. Maybe you could teach a class. I bet you could teach a class. Also,
yeah,
what
but that's
topics?
a big ask for someone with imposter syndrome to feel like they're qualified to teach. But
That is true.
There's a name for that phenomenon where like you have gained this knowledge and then you kind of like underestimate how much knowledge you have compared to other people. Can't remember. But like once you've like learned all this stuff, you just assume like, well, yeah, but everyone knows that. And it's like, no, they really, really don't. You've just been surrounded by a bunch of people who know this stuff, So you forget that like the majority of people do not have the same knowledge.
I don't know what that's called, but
yeah,
I agree.
There's no way to know.
That is a thing.
Cool, thanks.
Priscilla Potato Socks says, I think the biggest lesson I learned is to embrace humility and embrace yourself. We're all human, so be proud of who you are and don't be a dick to yourself.
Oh.
Which I want that like embroidered on a little circle. Like, don't be a dick to yourself.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
This is a big hint towards you as someone who embroiders.
No, I'm in the lampshade business now. Sorry.
Okay.
Maybe I'll loop back around to embroidery. Also,
when you're on your next loop, will you let me know?
Yeah, I'll see if I can fit it in. Okay. Speaking of Priscilla, just a quick note, she just recorded an interview with Tracy Otsuka on ADHD for Smartass Women. I recommended her as a guest for Tracy to have on the show. And Priscilla, I should message you and tell you this, but I want to say it on here too, because I'm so proud of her. Tracy messaged me afterwards and said, Priscilla was such a wonderful young woman and I could have talked to her all day. Thank you for that recommendation. She did such a great job.
Oh my God.
So,
I'm so excited. I'm going to have to listen now.
Yes. So everyone, it should be coming out in a few weeks. I'll talk about it in a future episode because I don't think it's coming out for a few more weeks. I'll have to check the schedule for ADHD for Smartass Women. But yes, everyone, when that comes out, go listen to Priscilla's wonderful interview with Tracy. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, yay. Priscilla's lovely. I could talk to her all day.
She did such a great job on our show that I was like, she's got to go on Tracy's show. And she did, and she nailed it.
Yeah. All our guests have been fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
Ricky Roxon says, working in a male-dominated industry, and I keep getting promoted without trying. Well, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
I feel like that's kind of like
get it.
The opposite of a lot of people's experiences. So that's great.
That is great. I also think working in I've been there before, and that sucks. And
it sounds like it's working for her, though.
Especially when they do like one more female hire, and you're like, we're going to be best friends. And the person's like, oh my God.
I don't want to be.
Right, please. And then Russ cracks me up. Oh my God. Raven.serious says, I'm proud I realize this is imposter phenomenon, not intellectual property. Could this be why they call it imposter syndrome? Russ, you're killing me. And then lastly, Lindsay, Lady Rockwell from Irish Seas, we were just talking about you.
Yeah.
She says, every damn time someone says, you're a chef, how should I do this? I immediately panic and say, no way, not me. And then I fucking deal with their question. It comes out great.
All right.
And I I did the exact same thing. I was like, you're a chef, no way. I burn all my food. How do I not do that?
Just don't.
Not really, but I do burn a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't cook. Yay.
Yay.
But yeah, I'm glad you guys all shared your experiences. I think it's good for other people to recognize, we have these people who are getting their PhDs or they're a chef or they're, tops in their field. Even, one, I think it's okay to be a professional, but also be silly. And
Hell yeah.
because I feel like we're a silly podcast.
Yes, that's kind of our whole thing.
Right. That's kind of like our deal. But I think it's nice to hear from people who are like at the top of their field, who still, they're struggling, we're struggling, but then also they're very silly. So because they're
Yes.
listening. I can't imagine someone serious listening to this podcast. So it's nice and refreshing to hear
And just
from all
hating
these people.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, why are they laughing so much?
Yeah, I
know.
think we should encourage more adults to be silly, whether you're a professional or not, because I don't know, I think the whole culture of like pretending like we're all a certain way and being this very rigid, white idea of like what professionalism looks like. It's so
Right.
boring and stupid. And like, that's not how humans work. Like, everyone's a little silly
Right.
guy inside. I mean, there's serious people out there, but for the most part, most of us are pretty silly, but you have to like pretend like you're not when you're in this professional setting. And yeah, I think it is a good
Exactly.
reminder that to not be so intimidated by other adults because they're also just like silly little guys inside. And if they're not, they've lost all sense of joy and you don't want to impress that person anyways,
Right. How can you live your life and not be a silly little guy?
Yeah, what's the point? It's just
Or a
more
silly
fun.
big guy.
Yeah, silly whatever size guy you are, and by guy, we
Size
mean
inclusive
any
silliness.
gender. Yes, gender inclusive. Yeah, guy, that just means we're all little guys. Okay.
Good.
All
All
right.
right. Well, I appreciate everybody sending in their little imposter phenomenon
Yes, thank you for your responses, as
things.
always. The polls are always
Responses.
fun.
Thank you.
You got it. All right,
And
and I
then
think
Grace, did you have anything?
No, I think we should end there, because it's already,
We're
like
ending
always,
there.
long enough for a bagel bite.
Sure.
More than long enough.
Sure.
So I'll just push that stuff over to the next bagel bite,
Okay. That's
Okay.
fair.
All right. Well, you've been listening to Weirds of a Feather and AuDHD-Adjacent podcast. You can follow us on Instagram. Don't miss Kristen's fun polls, usually on Monday or Tuesdays.
Mondays. And then I
Mondays.
usually when I'm not in the throes of burnout and forgetting everything, I repost all the responses on Wednesdays. So if you don't want your response posted, just like give me a little heads up being like, this is like for your eyes only.
For British eyes only.
Yeah. I'll be like, okay, it's our little secret.
Yes.
I do love secrets.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if you want to send any of your secrets, your pizza secrets, send them on over to Weirds of a Feather. What a transition. Can we
I know,
stop
look
for a
at
second
you.
and interrupt that? Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had to ruin it because it was too good to be true, but that was a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah. I forgot what I was saying.
I don't know. Send those to weirdsofafeather@gmail.com. You can, follow us on Instagram, Weirds of a Feather. You can join our Facebook group. There's always stuff going on in there with our awesome listeners. And thank you guys for responding to things and interacting and listening. And we love and appreciate you all dearly. You can, if you want to donate to keep this horse train going, you can buy us a coffee at ko-fi.com/weirdsofafeather. We will be back next week with our regular sound quality. So thanks for putting up with us. The reason why this happened and we had to record virtually was a me mistake. I made a mistake with our last recording. And then Ian got sick, so Kristen can't come down to record. So just a fun little perfect storm of ADHD mistakes. Yay!
Yeah, sorry for all the background noise that I caused.
Yeah, Kristen
I think
is
I do
covered
better
in
in
blankets.
person. Yeah, it's as cozy as I am. I think I do better in person.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We're making it work. We're being flexible Frannies. So thank you guys for also being flexible Frannies. And yeah, we will see you next week.
All right.
Ah! Oh! Woohoo!
Oh.
Okay, see ya.
See ya.